Browns fans, welcome into another victory edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas. And Joe, a lot of accolades thrown the Browns' way. Baker Mayfield, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Myles Garrett, AFC Defensive Player of the Month. But I think the biggest accolade so far, five wins, 5-2 after a dramatic 37-34 win over the Bengals.
Yeah, and the competitive AFC North, that is the number that matters because it's all going to be about the playoff race as we enter the second half of the season.
And yes, it was a huge division win for the Browns, sweeping the Bengals in the season series, thanks in large part to a couple of rookies. Harrison Bryant, we'll have him mic'd up for you. Donovan Peoples-Jones, he had the game-winning touchdown. We'll break that down and more in this week's Play Breakdown. But let's start the show with the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, and we welcome him in after the big win over the Bengals for this week's game review presented by Serpentini Chevrolet. And Coach, I wonder, how's your heart doing? That had to be a dramatic one, that 37-34 win, driving the length of the field for your fifth straight touchdown drive, and obviously the big one, the game winner there from Baker to Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, that was an exciting one. I know I got a lot of text messages about people's heart conditions after that one, but happy to get out of there with a W. Really pleased with how those guys responded late in that game. Never blinked. Trading body blows with that team and then have to go out there and win it on the last play. That's just what we signed up for.
Talking about how people responded. Nobody responded better than Baker, who started 0 for 5 passing the football, but then he finished on a tear after Odell got hurt. Can the way the team played after Odell went out build confidence that this offense can be explosive even without one of their best weapons?
Yeah, Joe, I think it can. I think we've shown glimpses this year where we get on a roll, and when we kind of do our job and I get out of the way, the guys play pretty well. So they've had moments where I think there's a lot of confidence in what we're doing, and then it's a matter of just going out there and doing it. And last week you saw on the field there in Cincinnati, we needed to perform, needed to drive, needed to go the length of the field, and the guys did it.
Coach, in that game, you mentioned Baker on fire, the 21 straight completions at one point, a Browns franchise record, but he really was getting the ball out quickly. It's time to throw the shortest of any game this season, and our great fans, they always have great questions on Browns Live, and this one comes from @A Moriarty, and he says, I'm curious if getting rid of the ball quicker was a point of emphasis prior to that game, or was it just a product of what the Bengals defense was giving you and Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, I think it was a product of what they were giving us, and I think our goal is always to get the ball out quickly. We don't want to stress the protection, which I might add was outstanding on Sunday. So there are plays and schemes where we're pushing the ball down the field and we'll hold it in a 7-step drop, but by and large, we're always looking to get the ball in the hands of our playmakers as soon as we can.
Talking about the team record that Baker set last weekend for consecutive completions, he was on a tear and he finished extremely hot. What did you see from Baker that maybe wasn't there a little bit earlier in the season?
Yeah, Joe, I just think he was finding completions. Sometimes the quarterback wants to make every play, and that's what I love about Baker. He wants to push the ball down the field. He wants to really make the defense pay. And sometimes, to the defense's credit, they take those things away. So I just thought he was very true to his reads, getting the ball out of his hand, going where the read based on the defense dictated the ball should go, and he was operating.
And something that's been true to form for this team is every week it seems like somebody steps up. And you go into that final drive, Hollywood Higgins catches 2 passes, Donovan Peoples-Jones catches 2 passes. Those are guys who were healthy inactives early in this season. And then in what is the most important drive of the year, they come up huge. What does that tell you about those players individually, but also about this team?
Yeah, that was great to see that. And I think both those guys in particular have done a great job. When no one's watching, they were working. And it was after practice or it was extra time in the meeting room, they made sure that they were ready when their number was called. And I think that's such a great message to our entire team, that you really don't know how this season's going to unfold. Sometimes you don't know how a game's going to unfold, but you have to make sure that you're ready.
Coach, congratulations on that big win. We'll have you back on the program later to talk about this Sunday's showdown with the Las Vegas Raiders. And coming up next, we told you about Higgins. We told you about Donovan Peoples-Jones, who you're going to hear from later on the program. But how about the breakout game for Harrison Bryant? We have him mic'd up next on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy.
You know how these things start. You hear Wendy's is offering free any-size hot coffee with any breakfast sandwich. So you have to tell a friend. They get a fresh brew cup and tell another friend. And so on and so on. So get to Wendy's for free coffee with breakfast.
Get your ice-cold Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice-cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice-cold Bud Light.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack. And every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Because of this, we built Escape with Ford Copilot 360. Because of this, we built Ford Edge with intelligent all-wheel drive. Because of this, we built Ford EcoSport to give you traction when and where you need it. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
I'm a strategic thinker. I am a devoted father. I am a committed teammate. I am Andrew Barry, and I am a voter.
There is no better time than right now for your actions to matter. Only 31% of eligible young people cast ballots in the 2018 midterm election. Get involved. Unite together. Be the solution by becoming a voter.
For $5, you could upgrade to the sparkly sprinkle pack on Cupcake Conquest. Or you could upgrade to all this. 2 crunchy tacos and a medium drink. Plus, the beefy cheesy layers of the $5 Grande Stacker Box. Only at Taco Bell.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura, Browns legend Joe Thomas, but we're going to talk about maybe a budding Browns legend, Harrison Bryant, a steal in the 4th round of the draft. The Mackey Award winner for the best tight end in college carried his strong start from Berea into action, and it was big on Sunday. 2 touchdowns for Bryant, and we had him mic'd up, presented by Ruoff Mortgage.
Here we go. Battle of Ohio, round 2 underway at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati.
Where y'all going, 57? Take him.
Mayfield back, looks, throws, caught, touchdown, Harrison Bryant. It's the rookie's 2nd touchdown catch of the year.
Go. Hey, what's up? Stop playing with me, man. That was a weak-ass spike again. Did it go high?
Hell yeah.
Because I thought it was a but for real?
Hell yeah.
One of the best spikes I've ever seen in my life.
For real?
Field under center, bootlegs it out to the right, and comes back left and throws wide open. Bryant's got it 40, 45, 50, 45, still running down to the 41, down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, boy! Hey!
Got the snap, he looks and throws, caught, Harrison Bryant's got it, and a first down, out of a tackle, inside the 15, down to the 12.
Stop playing with me, man!
Browns down a touchdown, 3rd down and 3. Hunt on the right hip of Mayfield in the shotgun. Bryant motions off the wide right. Mayfield looks, fires, end zone, caught, touchdown! It's his 2nd of the game. It's Harrison Bryant.
You just like it? Coming out, party! Coming out, party!
That spike was...
Yeah, that was sweet. When he scored, I was just like going crazy.
Harrison Bryant says it's his coming out party. I would say so. Seems like that young tight end destined for greatness in this Browns offense, but he wasn't alone in that tight end room, making up for the loss of Austin Hooper. The Chief, the former first rounder, got in the end zone. We got that big Chief slam, and it was great to see those guys thriving on Sunday, Joe.
Yeah, Kevin Stefanski has often talked about this being a tight end friendly offense, and it sure showed on Sunday with the tight ends showing up in a big way. And if the Browns want to continue to have success on offense the rest of the season, they're going to need to see a lot of big-time performances from that tight end room.
And you love to see it down in the red zone. You see the two spikes from Harrison Bryant and then the Chief slam. We told you about that earlier. That really brings the energy, just like you, the best fans in the NFL. Our best fan energy winner this week is Jessica G. Jessica tweeted at the Browns using the hashtag BestFanEnergy to tell us why she has the best fan energy. And because of that, she will be in the stadium for an upcoming Browns game. We talked about Harrison Bryant's coming out party. How about Donovan Peoples-Jones, the game-winning touchdown? We're going to hear what it was like for the rookie next on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy.
Grab Taco Bell's Nachos Party Pack whenever you're dressing up to stay in, getting some brownie points, or witnessing a miracle. Sorry, Jess. Go big with delicious nachos topped with all your favorites. Nachos Party Pack, only at Taco Bell.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a pharmacist at Discount Drug Mart, but that's not all I am. I'm a wife and a mom to two sweet girls. I see the people of our community every day. They have questions, and honestly, they're concerned about their health and medications. So they come to Drug Mart Pharmacy just like their parents did, because they know we will always help them, whatever they need, whatever questions they have. My fellow pharmacists and I are proud and truly humbled that you have put your trust in us during this challenging time. Discount Drug Mart is here for you, always.
Our students don't just read books or write papers. They forge new paths and new ideas. At LECOM, we build medical professionals who excel. We create the foundation of a better world. We seek new ways to aid others. We lead the next generation. We guide the future of medicine. At LECOM, we make doctors.
You know how these things start. You hear Wendy's is offering free any-size hot coffee with any breakfast sandwich. So you have to tell a friend. They get a fresh brew cup and tell another friend. And so on and so on. So get to Wendy's for free coffee with breakfast.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside a living legend, Joe Thomas. And Joe, Donovan Peoples-Jones, the sixth rounder, they're calling him Mr. Reliable. That's what all the coaches say, and that's probably music to a rookie's ears, but I'm going to call him something else. Mr. Clutch, the game-winning touchdown, only the second pass he'd caught in his career from Baker Mayfield. In fact, his first three catches come on Sunday. What did the young man out of Michigan show you?
Well, for a rookie to be called Mr. Reliable already, that's really impressive. And it says a lot about the work ethic and what he does during the week, his preparation. And when Sunday he gets that big moment, he's able to capitalize. And we'd love to see a lot more of that from Donovan Peoples-Jones the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's got that size, 6'2". He's got the speed, 4'4". He's got the vertical, over 40 inches. He has that prototypical size, and I just can't wait to see his confidence grow as he gets more involved in this offense in 2020. But you want to just see him? No, let's hear from him. Donovan Peoples-Jones sits down with our Andrew Gribble in this week's Player Spotlight, presented by Electronic Merchant Systems.
All right, we're joined now by Browns wide receiver Donovan Peoples-Jones. And Donovan, how big of a moment was that Sunday in Cincinnati, getting the game-winning touchdown and coming back from a deficit there?
It was a real big moment. Proud of the way we came down on that 2-minute drive and, took it all the way and, capitalized with a score.
What was it like to be a part of an offense that was kind of clicking that way and really moving the ball through the air?
It felt good. It really did. For me to be in there, get in there, and make some crucial catches at a crucial moment in time, and do whatever I can to help the team win. It felt really good.
How weird is it that your first NFL catch was thrown to you by Jarvis Landry?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Just growing with him the past couple months and learning from him, and for him to throw me my first catch is ridiculous. I never would have pictured that.
Now, this is a show that's kind of all about the fans, and we've got a question from Reddit user XBorder84, and he asked, after working your whole life to reach this level, what was the feeling like in that moment catching that touchdown?
In that moment, I kind of wasn't thinking about anything. I was just trying to see if I was in bounds. And he said I was in bounds, and I just, something in my mind just exploded. I threw the ball. They say you're supposed to keep the game ball. I threw the ball and just was happy for the team, happy for everything that just happened in that moment.
And then for you, you've gotten involved on kickoffs, on punt returns, and you've made kind of an impact as a blocker as well in the running game. How much pride do you take in getting involved with this team and helping out wherever you can?
That's what I want to do. Be versatile, help the team in any way that I can.
Now let's take a look at not only Donovan Peoples-Jones' big game-winning touchdown, but also the Chief getting back into the end zone in this week's play breakdown presented by Microsoft Surface. Ooh, I love when we go in the film room here, Joe. Let's get it started with the game winner, Donovan Peoples-Jones. And as you look here, the Bengals, they're showing cover one as this game unfolds here. See, initially they're like, maybe it's cover two. And then they're going to cheat. There's the cheat right there. Now they have dropped it back, and we've got single high safety. This is that same cover one robber coverage where you have the robber here where Minka got it. Baker sees the far hash, and I think he knows I got DPJ going, Joe.
Yeah, take a look at the leverage that the corner on the bottom of the screen has on Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's head up to a little bit inside, and Baker uses that information to know that safety that's dropping down is going to be playing robber on the tight end, and that there's only one hole on this coverage, and that's right there in the corner of the end zone for Donovan Peoples-Jones. And then Donovan Peoples-Jones does a great job holding space, running down the sideline. We always talk about 5 yards from the sideline is where you want your receiver to be able to hold space, to give the quarterback an opportunity to drop the football in. And Baker Mayfield makes an absolutely perfect throw down the sideline where only Donovan Peoples-Jones can catch the football.
All right, let's stay in the film room now and look at another Browns touchdown against the Bengals, this time Baker Mayfield to David Njoku. And when you're a quarterback, the first thing you're looking at is the middle of the field open or closed. And the Bengals pre-snap, they're showing you the middle of the field is closed. But after the snap, as soon as things go, this safety is going to vacate, leaving the middle of the field wide open, and the Chiefs going to run this post, and it's going to be a dime from Baker Mayfield for the touchdown. Tell us how it all unfolds, Joe.
Well, I think the most important part of this play is the job that Baker does with his eyes. If you watch the stripe on his helmet, you can see that he's controlling and moving the safety with his eyes to be able to create space in the middle of that field for David Njoku to be hit with that post route right down the middle. We've got Von Bell, who's the safety here for the Bengals, number 24. He's got outside leverage on David Njoku. And that deep safety, number 30, is the one that's responsible for any in-breaking routes from Njoku. But Baker Mayfield understands that as well. So what he does is he stares right at him, and then he looks to the right, which forces number 30, the safety, to drift to that side of the field to cover those receivers that are being looked at, which opens up everything for the Chief. And then what the Chief does is give a little bit of a head nod like he's going to the corner. That creates a little bit of natural space, and then he turns it back to the post, which gives Baker Mayfield plenty of space, plenty of field in the middle to deliver the football for the big touchdown. And everybody's favorite part is after the touchdown when the Chief scores, it's the Chief slam!
I love that. Not so fast, Joe. Get the ball back. Boom! Chief slam. Big Browns touchdown. If you thought that was all, we're not done. Not here on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, because next up, the head coach, he comes back to preview this big game with the Raiders.
for as long as I can remember. I've watched the sunrise, and I've watched the sunset. Fueling my drive, feeding the fire within. Embrace it. Harness it.
It's time to let the sun fuel your life. It's time to own your power.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Get your ice cold Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better. So we always put 166.7% into everything we do.
Technically, you can only give 100%.
Well, technically, we have a state-of-the-art mobile banking app, fee-free ATMs, and great customer service.
I stand corrected. 166.7% is possible.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack, and every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura, Browns legend Joe Thomas, and it is time to welcome in once again the head coach of your 5-2 Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, for this week's game preview presented by Ruoff Mortgage. And coach, the Raiders come in at 3-3, but boy, on offense, are they explosive on vertical passing. Arguably the most efficient team in the NFL. Aguilar, Ruggs, getting down the field. How do you slow down that vertical component of what the Raiders are doing?
Yeah, they cause a lot of problems for a defense, and you said it, it's vertical. It's vertical with speed. It's vertical with size when you're talking about the tight end. I think their trigger man, Carr, is excellent to all areas of the field. He can really push the ball down the field. So we got to be about our business. There's some different things you can do coverage-wise. There's obviously things you can do pressure-wise. But this is a very, very, very big challenge for our defense.
The Raiders have an outstanding tight end in Darren Waller and a quarterback that really loves to get him the football. So what challenges does Darren Waller pose to you guys in the pass game?
Yeah, Joe, he's huge. I mean, he's just a very big man, and then couple that with his speed, it's a very rare combination of size and speed. So it's not going to take one guy to take him down. You really need to make sure in your zones everybody's aware where he is, the safeties are aware of where he is in man coverage, and then ultimately, defensively, we've got to make sure that we're putting pressure on the quarterback and not letting him, pat the ball and wait for him to come open.
Coach, and they kind of present a challenge, right? They've got Jacobs who can run it and catch it out of the backfield. Waller, who leads the team with 40 catches. In fact, he has more than any two other players on their team combined, but they're all kind of under 10 yards. It says, if you're going to take away the deep stuff, we're just going to nickel and dime you all day with Waller right down the field. But if you try to come up and suppress that, then they hit those shots. So they kind of almost have two offenses in one, don't they?
Yeah, it's a very complemented attack. They're able to push the ball down the field. Like you mentioned, they're able to run it. And then if you do sink into zones, they'll drop it down. And they have players where when they drop it down, they're dynamic with the ball in their hands. So it's a big challenge.
The Raiders are coming off their biggest loss of the season, losing by 25 points to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What challenges do you guys face against a team that's looking to bounce back after a bad performance?
Yeah, Joe, I look at that game, and that was a touchdown game late in that fourth quarter. So I think the score can be a little bit misleading. I know this team. I know they're well coached with Coach Gruden. We're going to get their best shot. That's just how they operate. So they should be a confident bunch. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. So we know that we have our work cut out for us this week.
Coach, today's best fan question, powered by FirstEnergy, comes to us from Reddit user TyTrim89. He says, when game planning, do you ever get any inspiration from teams around the league, whether that's a new motion or a new personnel package? And I imagine maybe sometimes it even comes up when you're watching your opponent, something that may have worked against them in the past.
Absolutely, and that's the word, inspiration. A lot of times I'll buzz around the league on Monday and look at all the big plays or look at an offense that I really respect and see what they're doing. And sometimes you steal that play exactly, and then other times you think, all right, I like what they're doing here, but it fits our guys better doing this. So that is definitely a big part of what we do, and you're looking for inspiration. You're looking for some trick plays. You're looking for ways to get the guys the ball in space, absolutely.
Coach, the Raiders have the number 4 rated third down offense in the NFL. How important is that pass rush going to be in order for you guys to get your defense off the field to get the football back?
Well, it's huge, Joe, but also what you do on first and second down, it matters. You know, you'd much rather these guys be in third and longer down in distance, because when they get into third, 5, 4, 3, they're so explosive on the outside. They can run it. So I think so much of it will be how we perform on first and second down to allow ourselves to be put in position to get off on third.
Coach, it's sure for you, it is great to be home in front of the fans at FirstEnergy Stadium. We can't wait to see that. The Browns and the Raiders, a big one with playoff implications to be sure. Good luck on Sunday, and thanks for being with us here again on Browns Live.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, that's the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski. But now it's time for my favorite part of the show, Joe's final thoughts as he gets ready for the Browns and the Raiders. Take it away, Joe.
Accept your current reality. The good? Browns are 5-2. The bad? Browns just lost their Pro Bowl receiver and big play threat in Odell Beckham Jr. This is a turning point in this season. I visit NFL cities throughout this great nation, and there's one constant that I see. It's that every team in the NFL is faced with serious adversity at some point in their season. How the season's story is told when the curtains are pulled for the year is determined by how quickly that team is able to accept their current reality and who steps up on that team to make up for that adversity. The mark of the Browns of the last 2 decades has been one, unfortunately, of folding up the shop and going home when adversity strikes. But this Browns, they have a golden opportunity. They've got an opportunity against a very good John Gruden-led Las Vegas Raiders team to prove to the fan base, but more importantly, to prove to themselves that this is a championship team. And it's not the same old Browns. That opportunity starts Sunday at 1 p.m. and 3 hours on the gridiron will play hugely into how the season is written when everything is all said and done, and where the direction of this franchise will be headed for the next potential decade.
Wow. I think your eloquentness was only matched by your supreme blocking on the field, Joe. And speaking of somebody who has stepped up time and time again, we want to take a moment to recognize a frontline worker who has made a tremendous impact in our community during the pandemic. Each game during the regular season, the Browns will honor this individual prior to kickoff as parts of our Hats Off to Our Heroes program. This week's hero is Ashley Stock, Director of Programming and Clinical Operations at Providence House. During the pandemic, Providence House has had to make the difficult decision to temporarily suspend services, but Ashley quickly developed a method of service to support families in need. Ashley, from all of us at the Browns, we thank you. And we thank you, the best fans in the National Football League, on behalf of Joe Thomas, myself, and our great crew for turning into another edition of Browns Live. Don't forget this Sunday, 11 a.m. on News 5, Browns Countdown will get you set for the Browns and the Raiders. It's going to be a big one, and let's go Browns.